Hello everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. This time we're checking out another spicy Samyang product, but one that is not part of the Buldak line, even though it has been mistaken for Buldak in the past. This is Samyang's Hot Pepper Jjajang Ramen. Before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. You may be wondering right now, what's the difference between this and the Buldak Jjajang? This seems to get people confused who think that this is just a repackaged version of Buldak, and it's not. This is a totally different product from a much smaller Samyang product line of hot pepper products, and there is also a Hot Pepper Jjajang companion product to this that I'll be reviewing in the next video. I think it's just those two for right now in the hot pepper line. We'll talk about how this differs from Buldak Jjajang when I open the package, because it will be a little easier to show you that way. For now, let's just say that this is yet another take on a spicy black bean sauce from the company that is the current king of spicy noodle products. Now, this variety is not quite as ubiquitous as the Buldak product line or even the orange package original ramen, but this has been out for a few years in foreign markets, and I originally got this as part of a big variety pack that contained some imported stuff. But this has only very recently been released as an export product for English-speaking markets in slightly different packaging than this. So you'll probably see this pop up in Asian markets or online soon enough in its new packaging. Hey, let's cut to a picture of the new packaging. There it is. So that's what it'll look like if you see it in your grocery store or on a website. At the time of this filming, you can buy this online from Say We, with 3 E's, for $10 for a 5-pack. Nutritional information. Once again, Samyang wants you to think that you should only eat half a package of this by saying that this is 2 servings. Bullshit. This has 1,390 milligrams of sodium in total. So now that this is open, let me go through what makes this different from Buldak. And yes, I did check this ingredient list against pictures of the new American export packaging, and the ingredients do seem to be the same. Now, these noodles are a different recipe from the Buldak noodles. They are still fried, and they have the usual wheat flour and potato starch, but they also have some green tea extract in them, and they also appear to be a little bit thicker than the regular Buldak noodles. This sauce packet is a pretty simple black bean sauce with your usual spices and also oyster sauce. We've also got a seasoning oil, which contains extracts of onion, squid, red pepper, sesame, soybean, and green tea. Pretty complex in there. And finally, this flake packet is supposed to contain only dried pepper. So really, while a reasonably normal black bean flavor is still the base of this whole product, we should expect a significantly different mix of other flavors, including that seafood and the oil, compared to the Buldak Jjajang. So let's cook and find out exactly how different it is. Okay, here's what it looks like after the boiling and stir frying in the instructions. It's a very similar cooking process to Buldak, although the noodles go for a little bit longer, and now we're going to add the seasoning oil and the flakes to this. I can tell you right now, this is an incredibly chunky, thick black bean sauce. It looks really good, so hopefully it tastes as good as it looks, but we're going to season it up correctly first. For all of the ingredients that are in that oil, I'm not getting any specific whiffs of onion or squid or red pepper. It honestly just smells like soybean oil, which is not a bad thing, but it's definitely not the medley of aromas I was expecting. All right, now the pepper flakes. Okay, let's give this a quick stir and then a taste. Looks good. Here we go. Okay, let's get into the noodles first. Despite their thicker nature and somewhat flatter texture, these are basically about the same as Samyang's other noodles. They're Buldak noodles in particular. And they're very satisfying. They're chewy, they're thick, they get coated by the sauce absolutely perfectly. Extremely good noodles. 9 out of 10 for the noodles. The spice level is probably what most of you are here to find out about. And whoa, is it spicy. You look at the packaging, you see the words hot pepper. You know you're in for spicy, but you're not sure how much compared to Buldak. And this is as spicy as Buldak, for sure. It is a harsh, numbing, burn the back of your mouth heat. And this is only going to be for spice enthusiasts. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 for spice. For a black bean sauce, this is crazy hot. And now let's talk about the flavor. Two of the flavors that are characteristic of black bean sauce in general are its sweetness and its earthiness. You get sweetness from a combination of the beans and the onion, and then the earthiness from the beans. What Samyang's done here is combined that flavor with a much more than expected amount of soy sauce and that seafood flavor. So it rounds this out by giving it a much saltier, umami-rich flavor profile than I've ever had in any other black bean sauce before. This kind of reminds me of chapaguri in a little way, but not quite as seafood forward. It's a little more subtle than that. The consistency of the sauce is excellent. Look at how thick and hearty this is. You can even see little chunks of black bean in here. This is really great. It's definitely up there with Paldo's jjajangmyeon as far as its consistency goes, although it is missing the vegetables that came in that one. You know, now that I'm sitting here ruminating on the flavors in my mouth, it's also got a little bit of a smoky element to it. It's very much unlike any of the other black bean sauces I've reviewed on this channel. The pepper flakes are nice and tasty. They taste like freeze-dried pepper. They retained a lot of flavor. I think they go very well with this sauce. And all in all, the things keeping me from giving this a perfect score are really just the fact that black bean sauce is not like my absolute favorite, and the fact that I wish it came with a little bit more than just the pepper flakes in here, as far as garnishes. But all told, this is a decent portion of noodles with a very interesting take on black bean sauce, and I'm much more into it than I really expected to be. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 as an overall score. Yeah, surprisingly good. All right, that was pretty interesting. If you're already a fan of spicy black bean sauce, like in Buldak Jjajang, I think this is kind of the next logical step in flavor, and dare I say, a more interesting product. If this pops up in your area and you're a fan of the flavors I described and the spice, then yeah, there are worse things you could buy. As a matter of fact, if you've tried other spicy black bean products and you're not a fan of how sweet they are, this might convert you into a fan of black bean sauce. It really is that different and super good. So like I said in the intro, the next review will be the other product in this line, the Hot Pepper Jjajang. So please check that out when I publish it. If you do give this or the jjajang a try, please let me know in the comments if you liked it. And I hope you'll check out my other content to continue on this noodle journey with me.